Okay, welcome everybody to Coffee and Close-Up Art in the Morning. So I got a new tripod over the weekend. I'll show you the picture. I got a new tripod over the weekend to try to use it on my table for these real close-ups. This is what it looks like. That's the camera attached to the tripod, so you see what we're working with here. And it's right directly in front of me. I've already knocked the girls over once. Anyway, so this is a live show on Ustream with the live chat, recorded live with the live chat, and mostly awake, alive people. and yeah, so we're going to try to color. This is, let me put the book close so you can see what we're. This is in Imagimorphia by Kerby Rosanes. We already did, the only other picture I've done in the Imagimorphia, I've done a lot in the Animorphia, but in the Imagimorphia, the only thing I've done so far is the spider web one, which I'm not going to flip to right now because we're already having enough difficulties just getting close up here. Let me move some pins and stuff out of my way. So there we go. So it's on a tripod and it's just sitting here in front of me. So I'll try not to like herky-jerky it around and make anybody dizzy because I know some people have motion sickness. But I'm going to try to, manipulate it around like this and like get right in close if we want to color anything real close. So we're going to try this out. The picture of the robot looks like he's looking. Derek, I've heard some people looks like the War of the Worlds, So what we're going to do, we're going to try this, guys. And like I said, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I've already knocked y'all over once, so I've got to kind of hang on, try not to bump into the so yeah. Okay, so we're going to start with some black paint. So let me squeeze out, and I'm trying not to talk too loud. This one's almost empty. Let me just go ahead and empty it out here. We got another one. I just gotta, and it's going to be a little like flattened out like this because you're going to be at an angle, But I think that way you can just maybe just see some details. I didn't think, yes, I read it. I read it. I didn't know I was, you mean out loud? Yeah. I didn't know I was going to read it out loud either, Terry. It's halfway done reading it. Okay, so let me see let me get kind of a decent size. That one might be, yeah, that one and this one. Okay, so I'm going to use, my favorite brushes to use are the flat angle brushes like this. So we'll use the larger one for the bigger areas. And I got a small one here. I do need to get me a couple more. These are getting a little bushy. And I just buy cheap brushes at Michael's. You can get them, 5 or 6 in a pack for under $10, and I always use a coupon. So I get a whole pack of them for $5 or something like that. And I usually try to buy the plastic handles, whether it's the plastic or or these rubberized kind like this. Those feel good in your hand, and it forces you to kind of stay back from so you don't get like this. Sometimes you have a tendency to want to get right up on it like that. Well, it's best if you just stay back. Stay back. Hey, Orla. Good to have you. I hope your leg's going to be okay. Hey, Jean. We had a couple ladies that have lost relatives, so we're, think of you, Carol TMT, and our Miss Jean. So thanks for stopping in, guys. We try to cheer your day up a little bit anyway. So, okay, so we're going to go and get started. Again, if you're just joining me, I'm on this new tripod arm thing so that if I need to, I can get like right up on coloring something. But for now, I'm just going to kind of back up just enough. I can tilt the camera up and down, but again, you're going to be on an angle. Okay, so I'm going to get my paint here, and I'm going to try not to knock you over. So in the big areas, I'm going to try to get as much done as I can. And I got wax paper under it just so that I don't, get it all over the place. And what I'll do is I'll get pretty close up. And again, what I usually do, this one has a few little edges there where I might have to get in there with a pen. But if I do that, I get in there with the Pitt brush, the Faber-Castell Pitt brush. And someone goes, well, it's not the same. It's a little shiny compared to the flatness of the matte paint. And again, my paint is just Americana Craft paint. It's just Americana Craft paint. And so if it gets too dark, guys, let me know. Because I know white flashes out the camera, so we have to, adjust. Okay, so anyway, it really doesn't, if you get as close as you can, and just maybe there's some, like that little area right there. Like that little area right there. See, this is handy. So this little area right here, I might get in there with the Pitt pen because, it's a little tricky to get in there with the brush. And you won't notice much of a difference. I don't notice it at all, even if I go like right along an edge. But, if you think that might bother you, then just try to get as close as you can. If you have any questions, put them in caps. Again, guys, if you're watching this recording, it's a live show on Ustream with a live chat, and we get chatty. So you can, and I got wax paper. See, now I don't want to squish that wax paper up under there because then I'll be messing up every thing. Yes, I'm in the candy store with my new tripod. Yes. I just don't want to keep knocking you guys over. So you can see I can go off the edge. It's not going on the book. It's on the wax wax paper. So anyway, but sorry guys. Let me take a sip of coffee. I thought this might be where y'all could see better. If I get right up on something to color. Okay. But he's like a little pet that's sitting in front of me. It's like my little pet. Oh. As soon as I get right along the edges here, I'll move the wax paper because then I won't need it anymore once I get past the edge. I'm just trying not to get it under the book. All right, so let's move down. I'll try not to move around too much. I'm going to get right there in the spine. Okay, the wax paper's not right there, so I got to be careful. So again, this is in Imagimorphia by Kerby Rosanes. It's his second one. He has a sketchbook out too, and then that little, his little tiny, like the size of a moley sketchbook. I'm just going to keep moving around, guys, so y'all can see. If this does bother you guys and it makes you feel dizzy, we don't have to use this or we don't have to move it, but, that was the point of it, is so you can see detail. I'm trying to move the book. I'm trying to move the book more than the camera, Mythmorphia is the next one. Yeah, I got to get that too, Terry. Yeah, Mythmorphia. That's going to be awesome. Did he say when he's coming out or when it'll be available yet? Do you know? Have you heard? So I'm not adding any water. No water to the paint. I mean, the brush was damp before I put it in the paint. But other than that, I'm not adding any water. Although sometimes on camera, I do have to add a little bit of water because it starts drying out pretty fast under all the lights. But you really just want it just like straight out of the bottle is, nice and flat and black. And so this is our experiment right now, guys. If it doesn't work out, it's okay. Yes, I have well, let's see. It's not doodle Asian. Which one is it? Hang on, I'll get it. This one. The sketchy stories. See, this is the one I was talking about. It's the size of a moly. Okay. All right, so now I know, that's what I wanted to do. I wanted it nice and clear and close. Now I'll move it up even closer. So now I'm just going to move the wax paper out from underneath. And I am going to dry this so I'm not sitting my hand, in the wet paint. So I'll just kind of move it a little bit away there and tilt you up so you can see. I just want to stick my hand in wet paint. Then I'll get in there with it closer with around the edge. And his papers are a little on the thin side, so they do buckle a little bit. It doesn't bother me. And acrylic paint doesn't go through. It doesn't go through the paper unless, don't get it sopping wet like watercolor. I'm just using it straight out of the jar. I'm just I'm just testing it out. Okay, so let's move back down here. And I'm going to try to keep moving like wherever I'm working. We'll see how this goes. All right, so now I'm going to get my little small angle brush and just get in here along the edges. And again, this brush is getting a little bushy, so it's probably not the best, but yeah, I'm going to have to get a different brush. It's because I don't want to drag it in there, but maybe it's okay. So I just want you to see, now you can get in here as close as you want, whether you touch the edge of the paint where you're painting or not. I'm just going to kind of go pretty close. Right there. My brush is a little bushy. But I'll get in there with the Pitt brush pen to get the detail here in a minute. So my little buddy, my little tripod buddy. Hey Marita. Meeting everyone. Got to walk the dogs, cut the grass before the heat arrives. Bye. Okay, bye. Bye, Scooby girl. Thanks for stopping in for a few minutes. We'll come back sometime when you can stay longer. Okay, so I don't know if she put in the links to anything. I always like to ask politely information about the new people that come in. Get their websites and their blogs or YouTubes or whatever they got. So is this good, guys? Can y'all see? Am I holding it fairly steady? I hope. Again, I'm going to go all the way around again with my brush pen, so I'm just getting as close as I can. Okay, let's move right up on it here. Hey, Ben. How you doing? Ben did a new video making paint out of pastel chalk. Making your own paint. Ben's the one that sent us the bin bookmarks. Well, bin scraps and stuff to make more bookmarks. I sent some out for the girls to use to make bookmarks. We need to do some here. But thanks for stopping in, Ben. Feel free to put in your links if you want. Yeah, it is nice and clear because I'm like right up on it. I just don't want to be too herky-jerky and make you guys dizzy. I'm trying to be careful in moving around, move the book around and try not to move the camera too much, but I am having to move it some. so that I can get right up on everything. When I go to do the coloring and stuff is probably when it's really going to be like helpful. Although I'm not doing any faces or anything today. We're just in the mechanical butterfly, you know. So Ben is in. Yeah, Ben is, if y'all are watching the recording, Ben is Cinderblock Studios. Has he said anything? No motion sickness yet? Okay. I'm trying, guys. I'm trying not to, move it around too much. Once I get the edges done and I'm focused on a certain, an area, I won't have to be moving around as much. But because I'm, going around the whole double page spread, I'm having to move it a little bit just so I'm going around the whole butterfly. You know what I mean, Vern? And again, I'm not necessarily going right up to the edge, but I'm getting fairly close. And then I'll go back in there with the Faber-Castell brush pit pen. But I thought when we do color book pages, this may be an option. That's why I got the tripod, was just for color book pages or real detailed stuff where I want to get right up in there. And it's so close I have to keep moving everything because we are like literally inches from the page. Hey, Judy Patootie. Anybody else popping in? Flint Rock, Maryland. So yeah, so if you're just joining us, we're on the new tripod. He's like a little pet. So I'm going to sit him back a minute. I'll show you again. Here's the picture, what we're working with. I don't know if I showed it since I hit record. This is what we're working with right there. It's probably about, I don't know, it's not, maybe about, I don't know how tall he is. He's pretty tall. Then on my camera, of course, I have the arm flipped around the other way so that it's facing down. This is flipped around. But this is where we are, and this is how close we are. Oh, Ben's working on a painting while he listens. Oh, okay. Well, tell him, yeah, he needs to put in his link at least. Okay, yeah, thanks, Carrie. I did miss that. Okay, so now let me get my Pitt pen. Where'd I put it? Okay, let's see. Where's the brush? Ah, take a sip of coffee. I told my sister about your stream. She said, so watching you color, blink, blink, crickets. Yeah. Well, we do lots of things. We do art journal pages. We do drawing. We do painting. We don't just, but coloring, guys, it really is great practice. I don't care what anybody says. Don't care what anybody says. It's great practice for all kinds of other things that you might do. Detail work, it's good for shading, color combinations, all kinds of things. Thanks, Indy. Thanks, Diane. Lit Live with Diane. Okay, so now I'm going to get in here with my Faber-Castell. Let's see. The Faber-Castell Pitt brush, and it just has a B on it. And there's a big one too. We call it the Big Brad Pitt. I think that was Paula's coinage. I think it was Paula that coined that, but there's also this size, see? So anyway, and I think they come in all kinds of colors. I just have it in black, and I might have a brown one. But yeah. Yeah, Davis Moon is Ben or Cinderblock Studios. You can find them either one. Okay, so now I'm going to get in here and let's get our little creature right up on it. And just so you can see, you can get right up in those little areas. And I think there might be a little bit of a difference in, you might be able to tell a little bit that it's a marker. And this, for some reason, the pins do not go through the other side. Now, always test whatever you're using, whether it goes through or not. But for some reason, the ink in the brush pens doesn't seem to go through. Aw, thanks, Lori. Okay, so I'm just going to kind of quickly go around, and I'm not saying we're going to finish this whole Mech butterfly today. Just saying. Can't promise that, but I wanted to test it out, give you all another, view and a little close-up and some color book ideas. So we'll see how it goes. I might knock y'all. I already knocked y'all over once, so. Now, when I say it doesn't go through, that doesn't mean you go and till you're saturating your paper. I'm not doing that either. Okay. I got a little bit of I got a little bit of a fiber edge there. So I gotta be careful not to knock you over. Somebody's tweeting me. Let me check my iPad. I can see it. Oh, Carol's just retweeting my. If you have any questions, put them in caps. Thanks everybody for being here on our Labor Day. This is Labor. This is Labor. Labor Day stream, Monday. And I stream every Monday. If you're watching this recording, I stream every Monday at 9 a.m. Eastern. Most Wednesdays, 9 a.m. Eastern. And some Fridays, 9 a.m. Eastern. Marilyn went to Michael's for a pen, and they said, sorry, no pit. Crayola's over here. Well, did you, now, just because Michael's Michael's employee says they don't have it, doesn't mean they don't have it. It could be over in the art section. It could be over in the like where the scrapbook pens are. Over in that section, you got to kind of look around. I think in mine, where are they? They are over in the scrapbook pen section. And where the Tim Holtz and the Distress, I think maybe that's a different aisle now. Now that they have a mixed media aisle, the mixed media aisle might have all the Tim Holtz stuff in there. Thanks, Diane. I'm trying this, like I said, this is my first attempt with my little buddy here, my little tripod buddy, and he's like, sitting in my lap like a pet. Not literally in my lap, but right in front of me, so that I can get right up on the color book page for you. Hey, Jean. Since I'm not streaming today, you can just keep. Oh, yeah, Jean, you don't stream till 4, girl. You're trying to get me to stream till after 4? I mean, I do good to get up to 3, and that's on a rare occasion. I usually try to stop by 2. Gee, that's a little bit of that circle there. I thought maybe it wasn't, but it is. I don't like the way it sticks out, though, there. I'm going to go ahead and cut, see right there, that little screw right there, whatever, it kind of comes around. I don't like the way that looks, and I'm the boss of my color book, so bam. I went to Artist and Craftsman. You went to Arts and Crafts. Nowhere to be found. Oh. Thanks, Rebecca. I'm trying without making anybody sick, or dizzy. Because I know some people, they don't like movement. Motion, camera motion. Okay, so this looks a little harsher. I'm going to smooth that out there. You girls, you're bad. Y'all, Terry's trouble's rubbing off on you all. I'm serious. Where's Eileen when we need her? Hey, Janet, by the way, up there in the loft. I hope this might work. We'll see how it goes, guys. When I start flipping color pencils around, I'm not I'm not so sure how we're gonna do this, but we're gonna work it. See right there, that's probably part of a mechanical, but I didn't like the way it looked, so I'm getting rid of it. Hey, Carol Renee. I got a art card sitting over here with your name on it. I went through all my Happy Mail stacks to make sure I got everything mailed out that I needed to get mailed out. And you're sitting over there, Carol Renee, waiting to go out. An art card. You were on the art card list, and I think that's the last one that I have on my list. I think everybody's got their art cards. I have to check with Victor. Victor didn't get the first one I sent it, and now he's doing shows again. He's back on doing his YouTube videos, and so I haven't heard if he got my second attempt. Sending something over to the Ukraine is a little, you hope for the best, right? It's only in an envelope though. Send him a couple of art cards in an envelope. You'd think that would make it. So we'll see if Victor got my card second attempt. And then one of the girls I told you I sent a color book to the UK. A month later, she finally got it. And then Blondie, if y'all saw on Twitter, she posted, I had sent her one of Kelly's books. And and I think I told y'all this story. I'm going to keep talking and going around the edges here. If y'all have any questions, put them in caps. Hey, Heather, you loved your art card. Oh, good, Heather. I think it takes a month to the Ukraine. Okay. Well, the first one has been like at least 2 months. The first one, it didn't make it to him. He said, I never got it. So I sent him another one, and it's probably been about maybe 3 weeks now since I sent the second one. So anyway, the girl that I sent a color book to in UK, not Whimsy. I mean, I just sent hers out, Lindsay Whimsy, that won last week or whatever. But somebody else that I'd sent a color book to like a month ago just now got it. And I think she had to go to the post office to get it. So she got that. Oh, what was I saying? Oh, so Blondie. I sent a book to Blondie, one of the books that Kelly sent, and she didn't get it. And I had it tracked, too. It was tracked because it was in the United States. It was supposed to go to California. So it left Georgia. It left the Georgia post office, went to, I want to keep concentrating here so I don't lose you guys on the camera. It's just in an envelope, though, Suzanne. It wasn't like Ukraine. I sent it. It's like in a letter. It's like in a letter envelope. Anyway, so I sent it to California to Blondie. It went from Georgia to Kentucky to California, where Blondie is. And I said, oh, good, she ought to be getting it any day. Next thing I check it and tracking, it's in Pennsylvania. I went, how'd that even happen? It was already in California, then it went to Pennsylvania. So the tracking said, your package is delayed. It was a book. It was just a book, wrapped up book, right? It wasn't in a what do you call it, a priority envelope or anything. It just went, book rate, which, was a book. If y'all saw it on Twitter. Uh-oh, I think I went over. I think I colored on the back of it. Anyway, it went to Pennsylvania. So how does that even happen? And I usually have good luck with the post office. I gotta say, rarely do I have things lost. I've had a couple commissions lost going international, so I don't do commissions overseas anymore because I can't track them. They get lost, and it's like I either have to refund the money or redo a portrait. I ain't doing that. So I ain't. So anyway, so Blondie's book finally after like 3 weeks, I think it was like 3 weeks, it finally made it to her like Friday, I think. So she tweeted out, I finally got the book. So we went from Georgia, Kentucky, California, Pennsylvania, back to California. But anyway, like I said, I don't usually have too much trouble with, uh, things making it here in the States. So, yeah, book. Yeah. Hey, Cara. Hi, Kay. We make you laugh. Well, good, good. We hope so. All of us here are real friendly. I mean, we are. I gotta say, I'm gonna speak up for all of us here. We're a friendly bunch. We are a friendly bunch. Okay, so like in between this little bits here, so you can kind of see, that's probably supposed to be the background there. Maybe like right back here. You got to sometimes kind of guess. But here's the thing. If you get it wrong, who's going to notice? Except maybe Kerby, the artist that drew this. Otherwise, I don't think Kirby's going to say, excuse me, that's not supposed to be the background. Hey, Cat. Anybody else pop it in? Oh, hey, Sherry Gian. Sherry G, is that like Jen? Now you know we have somebody guards. I'm gonna try to reach up at that moving y'all around. We have someone that guards the mini bar. Just saying. This is Bandit. He guards the mini bar. Okay. Okay, so anyway, let's get back to coloring here. So we'll see how this goes. Again, I got my little tripod buddy. Did I go all the way around already? All right, so let me kind of check on the inside here. I might have missed anything. We don't want Kerby. We don't want Kerby to email us. Yes, we're wing nuts. That's right. We're wing nuts. All right, let's see. I'm going to go all the way around. See if there's any little areas that might have escaped me. Don't make Kerby email you. Yes, that's right. So for y'all are just joining us, we're coloring in Kerby Rosanes' the newest one that color book. I have Animorphia, which I've colored a lot in. This is Imagimorphia, and somebody said he's coming out with Mythmorphia. Oh, I want that one. Yeah, we will be getting Mythmorphia. I like saying it, Mythmorphia. And it's a double page spread, and the pages are like, I think about 10 by 10. So, yeah. Okay, so let me set y'all down for just a second without knocking you over. Put the cap back on here and see what we're going to color with. Okay. So I think because this is mostly gears, although remember if you put a wash of acrylic paint over something, you can go back over the top of it with color pencil because there's tooth to it. Now, I want you to look, the edges did curl up just a little, but that's no biggie. Just curl them back under, It's not a big deal. Just want y'all to see right here. Just curl them back under. It did not go through. It's just acrylic paint that's not real. I didn't add any water to it. Okay. Then we went around the edges. We needed real close up with just the Faber-Castell Pitt brush pen. Okay. So Hubster, look at this. Here's my little pet. Our little pet sitting in front. Are you there? Oh, he ran in the other room. I wanted him to see how I got my little pet tripod here. Yeah, maybe we should call him Trippy because he trips us up. Look, see,
oh, cool.
It's like my little pet. So look at the camera here, so you can see. See how we can get right up on that?
Oh yeah, nifty. We're getting high tech here.
Well,
Okay, back to watching overhauling.
Watching overhauling. Okay, yeah, there's an overhauling marathon on. He's enjoying his day off. Gotta name him. Yeah, Trippy. He trips us up. He's a tripod. Tripod Trippy. Okay, tripod Trippy. All right. Uh, yes, Trippy. Trippy's the name. Okay, so there's a little bit of right in the see right in there. I didn't get quite in the crevice there of the. That is one of the things that people do. That's I think the only thing other than the paper's a little on the thin side. The thing that people complain about these the Imagimorphia and the Anamorphia is that it's right in the crevice. You got to work into the crease of the book. Everybody said hi. You have to kind of work in the crevice of a book if because these pages do go double page. His books are double page spreads. In the ditch, yeah, the ditch. Thank you, Terry. In the ditch. Oh wait, I missed another little bit in the ditch right there, right along his antennae. Okay. Okay, so now, because a lot of this is mechanical, I can decide, do I want it like, and again, remember, just because I put a wash on it, doesn't mean you can't color it a different color with color pencil. Okay, just saying. Now, if there's a big face in here, like a big face, I wouldn't probably do a gray wash over it. But all this is pretty much Mech, so I think I'm going to go ahead and just put a wash of gray over it. And then there's a few little, like here's these little creatures that he has. Remember, this is also a puzzle book, a hidden puzzle thing, a hidden object book, as well as a color book. So like that may be one of the hidden things. Or like there's an umbrella. There's an umbrella right there. But you can go over that with color pencil, even if you put a wash over it. Hey, Juju. So what I think I'm going to do is, let me get the cord out from, oh, sorry guys. The cord is under the color book. Let me move the cord out of my way. Okay. Sorry, we did a face plant. We did a face plant. Okay. So we're going to do a blue gray, like this is called uniform blue, and it's kind of a blue gray. So I'm going to, without knocking you guys over again, let's see if I can do this. Okay. What I need. Yeah, some extra Dramamine. Well, hopefully not, Terry. Hopefully we won't do that too often. All right, so I'm going to let me get the larger, clean the larger of the two off here. All right, so my water is a little dirty, but I think it'll be okay for this blue. All right, so now I am adding water, okay? And it's almost just like a little bit of paint and water. Now, as long as you don't scrub and make your paper pill, you will be fine. What a big moth I have. Iffy. Oh my gosh. Okay, so as long as you don't, scrub, and just keep it, work in one area. So I'm going to do the whole thing. Now, the reason I'm doing a wash, there's a couple reasons. For one, it gives me a base to work on for color pencil, and it gets rid of the whole whiteness of all the paper, right? Now, even though I'm doing that, you can still put white over the top. You can still put white over the top of acrylic wash. You just have to be careful, guys, and it will wrinkle your paper a little. If you are one that, this book in particular has thin paper. But if you're one that doesn't like any wrinkling or buckling in their books at all, then this technique is probably not for you. But it's my favorite technique to use in color books because it gets you going. See? It gets your book going. I mean, your page going. You're not spending hours and hours, although you still can when you go in there. But if you don't wash it down enough, you're going to cover up all the color book lines, and you don't want to do that. Okay? So you want it thin enough so you still see through it. You want it translucent, transparent. Okay, and again, it might wrinkle a little, But because your background is all painted with a solid acrylic, that kind of helps prevent the buckling because this is nice thick acrylic on here. So when you go to do the wash, your page is a little bit sturdier because of the black paint. And there's a glare right there, guys, so where the water is. Yeah, get you going. So I'm doing it in this blue-gray, and then I'll go in there and shade. And I don't care if there's some areas are a little darker than others. It just gives it that like watercolor, you know, kind of feel to it where not everything is like flat like the black paint is. When you go in here with kind of a wash, you can see that some areas are darker and some areas are lighter, just like a watercolor. See? Hey, Juanita, good to see you. All right, so there's how you can see the difference right there. Again, we're on a little trippy tripod here, so don't get all like freaked out if we're moving around a little bit. I just want to try to play with y'all are my experiment to see if we can do close-ups with, you know. And because it's a tall tripod, see the problem with the other one, my other gorilla arm tripod, is it was real short. It was only like, you know, this tall, which is fine, but you can't really, you're not back far enough. So I was having to hold it in the air. I couldn't rest the leg on the table like I can here with him. I can rest the legs on the table and not be, you know, literally that far away. So the length of this gorilla arm tripod or flex arm tripod is better than the short arm one for something like this. Okay, so if y'all have any questions, put them in caps because, you know, this chat rolls along. So I'm just kind of trying out, you know, looking at the camera and seeing how I can adjust and move things around. And again, this is just for doing these close-ups like this. So we have nice clarity and close-up. So there we go. So there is the whole page with a blue, it's called uniform blue, watered down wash. All right, so now I'm going to set y'all down. I'm trying to keep the cord out of my way. I think it needs to go around the top of the computer. Hang on, guys. Let's get on the other side of Lappy so it's out of my way. All right, so now I'm going to go ahead and hit this with the heat gun and dry it. A little bit of a splash right there. Anybody else? Mr. Spall on the left. You mean right there? Yeah, there's a little bit. I guess I could put a little bit more right there. Right there is what you mean? Okay. Yeah. Some areas are a little lighter, but yeah, I think I totally missed that little area right there. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Lori. Go sit with Terry now. Lappy and trippy, that's right. Okay. And you do want it nice and dry before you go in here with color pencil. And it is a little buckled. I can feel it when I run my hand over it. It doesn't bother me. But I'm telling you guys, if you're one that doesn't like any buckling in your page, then don't do this technique in this book because it does buckle. Let me, all right, hang on. I'm going to leave y'all here for a second while I get the other book. Hang on, where is my... Where is he? guys. I was looking for. There's Imagimorphia. I bet I pulled it out to do something with it, and I don't know where I put it. Hang on, guys. Here it is. Okay. So, like in Anamorphia, okay. So I'm gonna pull back here a little bit, straighten you out. So, like in Imagimorphia, it's the same size book. Although I think that they have, I think there's a different size in the UK. For some reason, I'm thinking there's a different size. One's a little bit different size, A4, A whatever. You know how the sizes are different there. Hey, Natalie. Anybody else popping in? Thanks for being here. So I'll just go ahead and show you real quick some of the ones we've done in Anamorphia. Okay, we've done quite a few, and some pages are not done, but I want to show you, like, here's a wash. See how it's got a little bit of a wrinkle there? For one, I did not paint any background here, so it wrinkles a little more if you don't have a background colored. It just doesn't bother me if there's a little bit of buckling or wrinkling in my pages. But again, if it bothers you, don't do it. That one's, oh, this one is from the UK, Vicky? Okay, yeah, Vicky S. is the one that sent me the Imagimorphia. Okay, so I'm going to skip 2. So again, here's a couple of washes. I'm going to try not to knock you over. I'm going to hold on to Trippy here. You can see, and again, guys, it wants to flash out, so we got to kind of deal with that too, because the white paper. Okay, so we've done a few. Let me get to some of the ones we've finished. Just kind of wanted to show you where we're going. Okay, so here we go. So this is a double page spread. Let me lift you up a little bit so you can see how big it is. And again, we started with a background of dark blue instead of black. Splashed, you know, did the splashing after the fact. But start with a whole wash of orange and a whole wash of light blue. Then you can go back in there with either more paint, watercolor, you know, anything, markers, whatever. I did most of the subsequent, you know, after I did the wash with color pencil. Okay, so this is why I wanted to get right up on for you guys. Hey, Jamie, how you doing? I sent you a card, Jamie. I'm sorry. It's going to be kind of, I hope you, I know Jamie has a great sense of humor, but I sent a card. You're going to laugh. I hope you laugh. Anyway, okay, I won't tell you. I won't say anymore. Okay, so let me skip. All right, but look at the paper. Can you see the back here, how it's a little wrinkled? But by the time I go to do the back side, I just got to wash on that lion face. By the time I finish all this, you're not going to see that wrinkle. You're not going to see it or really even feel it by the time you get done with the whole thing. So just FYI, if that bothers you to have some pages wrinkly until you get to the other side. Okay, so here's some owls. So again, guys, it wants to flash out. Let me get my Sherry Pink card. See how that pulls the light back in? Well, it goes back away. Anyway, oh, I can get so close. There we go. So again, it starts out with a wash and then goes back. Now it is a little flashed out, guys. The colors are really very vibrant in person. But because of the white, you know, the camera wants to flash out. Let's see if I can pull it in just a little. But it's the same thing. It's washes, and then you go in there and you can just like do a little bit of touch-ups, you know, a little bit of doodle. You don't have to, it just takes less time for one. Okay, so again, we're going to flash out till I get back up in on it. And what else? Okay, we got a whale that's just got, this is just the wash on it so far. But you see how, see how it's got light and dark acrylic wash on it? That's kind of, it is a cool effect to keep it light and dark so that it gives it that multi you know, it gives it more depth than just the flat, right? All right, so let's see here. That one's just a wash on the octopus there. Let's see. Okay, so here's our little iguanas. Again, let me back up so you can see the whole thing. It's bedtime for you. Yeah, okay, Carol. Carol's in Oz. So thanks for stopping in, Carol. So you can see the background. This is paint. So just did a wash of blue, a wash of green, and then go in there with some color pencil. It just takes a lot less time to do that, but you can spend, like, look, I shaded that little box there. You can take more time if you want. You don't have to just do, you know, washes and a little, you can do as much detail as you want. I'm just showing you here. That one's not done. Do I have any more finished? I've got to start on those roosters. And I don't mind, as you know, oh, I won't show you the flamingo. Wait, is Eileen here? um, Again, just the pink wash with the black background. I don't mind working on a little bit of one page, moving on to another. A little bit of one page, moving on to another. So that is the Anamorphia. Okay. Great camera work. I don't know about that, Kiggles. I don't know about the great camera work, but thanks for the vote of confidence. Oh my gosh. And so now we're working in Imagimorphia. Okay. And again, he's coming out with Mythmorphia. So, yeah, I've already done a flip through this on another show, so I won't do a lot of flip. And the only other thing I've done in this is the spider page, spider web. And I used black in the background and stickles all over the spider web. So let me see if I can. I did a little 30-second video. It's on Twitter. So you can see all the spider web is gone over with stickles. Now, I colored in all these little bits here just with the marker, just so you can see, because my main thing I wanted to do with this was showing the stickles. So on this side, all I colored in was the spider in stickles. Now, I did make a mistake on this. Not that it really matters because you can cover it up. But I painted the spider red. Okay, I painted the spider red with, I don't even remember if I used a marker, if I used paint. Anyway, I didn't let it dry before I put the stickles on. I put red stickles, and then this is silver stickles. I didn't let it dry, so on the back side, it did go through a little bit where the spider was. But that's not really going to matter because you're going to cover that little bit up anyway. But just FYI, you just really need to let everything dry or hit it with the heat gun or whatever before layering up, because it's going to go through if you're not careful. So again, the spiders and stickles, I'm trying to get it to shine there. There we go. See the shine? And the spider web is all in stickles. But that's the only 2 pages I've done in this book. All right, so let's go back to our moth here. Our Mech moth. And see what we're going to do next. Okay, so let's kind of get the camera situated. So y'all got any questions, put them in caps. Let me take a sip of coffee. And sit Trippy down for a second while I grab a couple pencils here. So I think I'm going to use some grays, some blues. Let me get some white here. I'm just reaching in out of my tub here. I have a new set. I should get those out. Did you draw that spider? No. Yeah, no. It was, I went over it. I went over the whole spider web with silver stickles. Where'd it go? Okay, I went over it. There we go. It was there, but I drew over it with stickles. This stuff right here, if you don't know what stickles is. Do I have one right here? Yeah. I went over it with the silver. This one's just diamond, but this is what it looks like. These little bottles of glitter glue, like. And I had this. I took the silver one and the red one for the spider, but the silver one, and just because look, it's tiny tip. See how tiny that is? The rare North American Gearage moth. Okay, so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to start. Let me go ahead and get a darker gray. We'll start with the darker gray. Let's see here. That's a little. That's a little too brown. I want more gray than brown. Let's see. Here we go. Let's see. Yeah, that's this is 90% warm gray. I just want a gray, and then a lighter gray. All right, so let me sit. Make sure he's not going to tump over here while I sharpen. Let me move my paints out of the way. All right. Did you do? I used probably about a half a bottle of stick. I don't know. It used quite a bit. It did use quite a bit of stickles. But that goes a long way. It really does go a long way. Okay, and then I want this. That's not the blue gray I want. I might have to use it though if I can't find the other one. What's that one? Okay, there's a medium gray. So there's 3 grays, a white. But I want my blue gray. Slate blue. What's this one? It's not slate blue, is it? I guess it is slate blue. Okay, so some grays, white, blue. Oh, you were just kidding. Oh. All right, so I'm going to start with the dark gray. Now, remember on a lot of color books, now let's see if we can do this here, guys. I want to get nice and tight. That was my point of this. Let's see if I can get the little legs. Make him happy here. Hold on, little fella. There we go. So, in a lot of color books, need some new pencils. No, I got new pencils. I have a new set of pencils. Teresa, I do have a new set of pencils. Trust me. I don't need pencils. But thank you. All right, so if you look real close, you can see little bits of shadowed areas. See these little lines right there? The little shadowed areas? That helps you. If you don't know where to shade, always start with that in a color book. If you don't know where to shade, look for the little lines, like the little shadow lines that the artist put in. You probably need, yeah, okay. Jamie's talking to somebody else. You probably need a sinus pill. Do I need a sinus pill? She's not talking to me. Okay, so I'm going to start with just getting in here with my, and you got to remember, guys, I say it every time, but I can't stress it enough. I can't stress it enough. Such light pressure. I mean, I can hold my pencil practically all the way back here and still color because that's how light the pressure is. Very light pressure. If you want to do layers and blending, lots of blending, you have to do light layers. All right, so I'm going to just start by getting in here on just the very darkest areas. I'm going to just start right. I'm going to keep Hubster would be going. I'm gonna just do right in here for now. Okay, just this little area right here, and I'm gonna go in here and just shadow. And it is best if you have a complicated thing like this to pick a section and just work a section at a time, because you can forget things or not see them. All right, so I'm just getting in there, and the acrylic wash is giving your paper a bit of a tooth. Okay, it's giving it a tooth. It's like a little bit of, it's not a flat, slick paper with the acrylic wash over it. So I'm just going to get in here and just kind of get in here with some of the gears. with the darkest gray. And like I said, I'm staying right in this area at first, just so we can do a little demo here. Y'all able to see that? I think so. Okay, I might want a little bit of a shadow around each of those little gears. And again, guys, you can spend as much or little time. Okay, I don't want to get all moving here. You can spend as much or as little time as you want on the elements, right? But always start, if you're not sure where to shade, just start with where they have the lines. They've already got lines there for you. And that's darker over on that side of the gear. So you have a little bit of a guideline where to shade. And then this little guy's peeking out back there. Let's just go, oh, I'll do this just so you can see. I'm going to get a yellow. Let's get a nice bright yellow orange. So that you can see that even though you've got an acrylic wash on there, I want you all to see you can go over it and still have him show up. Remember what I showed y'all with the paint? Let me back up a minute. Remember what I showed you about going over color pencil versus going over paint? Let me do that little demo for y'all real quick again because it's important. Okay? I don't want y'all to tump over. Let's not tump you over because I have you leaning right in. Okay, let me do that real quick. All right, so I'm going to get a little bit of this leftover black paint on my finger here. All right, so I want to show y'all here. Here's black acrylic paint. Now I'm going to dry it because remember, you got to have it really dry before you go over it with pencil. All right, so let me dry that. I'm going to get my camera hot. Okay, what color gray was that? It was 90% warm gray. I didn't even look at that though. I gotta say, guys, when I pick up a pencil, I don't care what it's called. Oh, there's my sister Jody. Hang on, I'm gonna take this to Hubster to talk to her. Hey, Jody. Okay. Well, call her back. Oh. Okay, it's my sister in Texas. Denise and Boo went out to Texas for the weekend to visit my mom and sister, and so Jody was just calling to say how it went. So anyway, okay, sorry guys. All right, so what I want to show you here. All right, so now that's dry. That's just black acrylic paint. Now I'm going to take a black pencil and I want to show y'all some of the benefit here. And I know y'all have seen this before if you've been here any length of time. But I want to show y'all if you haven't been, because this is really important. This is very important. All right, so that's black acrylic paint, right? Now here's a black pencil. Now, even if I took my time and layered and layered and layered till it was as black as the paint, okay, let's just, however long you take to get it a solid black. So let's say you were coloring your background black, all right, or whatever area. All right, this is why the acrylic paint is beneficial over just a solid black coating of a black pencil. So this is the pencil, and this is the paint. Okay, now I want you to watch what happens when I take a white pencil over it, right? Now, I'm going to bear down as hard as, well, I'm going to start with light. Look, light pressure. Nothing is showing up. All it's doing is smearing the black pencil. Even if I bear down as hard as I cannot get white on top of that black, right? Now, always make sure you clean your pencils off. See that black on that tip? That's why you see my tabletop is all covered with white pencil lines, because I'm always cleaning the tip off. But you saw nothing is showing up on the black pencil. Now watch what happens when I go on the black paint. With the lightest of pressure, look, the lightest of pressure, the pencil goes right over, right over the black paint. Okay? With even just the lightest of pressure. It won't work over pencil. So there is where having a black wash or any color of paint, you can go over it with your colors. See? It looks like a little, there's the little worm that turned into this moth. So you see, that's why, this is why the paint is so beneficial. Okay. You'll see. You like that, Carol Renee? Night, Giggles. Thanks for stopping in. So I like to show that again every now and then, because if you have a solid black pencil, you can't go over it like you can with the acrylic paint. All right, back to our little guy here. All right. All right, so now let's get back down as far as I can here. You like my, like my little worm? All right, so let's get back down here with our little section right here. And again, I'm obviously not going to finish this whole thing. But you know what? I think I'll do this section and this section. So I'm going to go back with the gray, because I want to do a little bit more shading. Let's back it up just a little. All right, so I'm barely touching, guys. Barely touching. Yeah, you like the little worm. Okay, so let's put a little shadow around each one of these gears. Or the little screws there. And just start. And it just depends on how much work you want to put into your shading. You girls, they're so funny. Yeah, so anyway, I was going to try to get out to Texas when they went, but it just didn't work out. So they flew out there for the weekend, and they had the San Japan going on in San Antonio, the anime convention. And I would have gone if I was there, or me and Cam had gone. We would have gone to San Japan. They went down to the river walk, and I think they went to Alamo. Hub's just talking to my sister now, telling all the stuff they did. So they're flying back today. And but I would have gone to San Japan. But that doesn't interest Denise and Boo. They want to shop. So again, I'm barely touching anything. I'm just getting some shadows in some of these areas here. Can y'all see a difference? Maybe a little bit. between the shadowed areas and the non-shadowed areas. Everything okay?
Oh yeah, everything's fine. She didn't have a whole lot more to say, except that they were a little bit. Sammy was a little bit bored yesterday.
Yeah.
But
are they going to the Alamo this morning before they fly out?
She didn't say.
She didn't say. Okay.
But I told her that you'd call her
after a while.
That's pretty, Dee.
Thank you.
Yeah, I told her that you'd call her in a couple hours. So.
Okay. See you. Talk to you later, honey. So it's kind of hard in the ditch there, as Terry called it. I think that is actually the technical term of a book, the ditch. I'm having knee surgery. So you'll be living in my YouTube. Well, good, Diane. Thanks, Terry. We're good for something around here, right, Diane? We're good for something. Surgery recovery. Take a color book with you. Take a color book with you. And it's not a mirror image. Can you see? See, this side has these little metal, like, overhangs here. This side doesn't. All right, so right here, I want to get that a little darker. My paint, I noticed when I put it on, my paint was a little wet, so it didn't get a full coverage right there. And but pretty much I can see a tiny bit of where some of the pen is. But like I said, I try to get the pen as close up as possible. Oh, thanks, Diane. Thanks for being here. Thanks, everybody. All right, let's see if we can move up here a little. All right, so I'm just kind of, looking around and seeing where it needs some shadow or some shading. I mean, it's just following mostly right now. It's just following most of what's already there. Hey, Miko. We're trying out a new camera tripod. So if you tump over, it's not you, it's me. All right, so now I think I want to get something. Let's go with the white. Okay, so I want to find some highlights here because you can just see it better if I do the dark and the light and then we blend. Okay, so let's start with this wheel here, this cog. Okay, so what I want you to notice is how the white is going to show up right on top of the acrylic paint. Can you see it? I'm not bearing down, so it's subtle. I don't want it to. Okay, so let's just say get the highlight on this side of the little cogs or the little screws. On this, I need to sharpen my pencil, guys. So hang on, I gotta tilt you back a minute so you don't fall over. You sharpen. Okay. Can you see? I hope. I know it's flashing out just a little. Can you see how that's making those pop? Compare that to this one. Oops. Hang on, let me resharpen. Don't fall over. I must have looked at that butterfly for an hour and never saw the little young. Well, that's because part of Kerby's books are hunting for, hidden things. Just like the umbrella right there. Did you notice the umbrella? See the umbrella? There's all kinds of things hidden in his pages. There's probably more in here. I just haven't looked for them yet. There's a clock right there. What else do I see real quick? That's all I see right at the moment. Okay. All right, so let's go back to this again. And again, guys, it does want to flash out, but I'm trying. Might need to refocus, but there we go. All right, so now watch this. Look at this little cog right here. Okay, and we're going to do the same thing. We're going to highlight. My pencil's not showing. I got another white pencil. I don't need to use this tiny bit, but can you see how that's making that stand out already? And then right along the wheel. And again, it just depends on how much time you want to take to highlight this stuff. And some of these bits are tiny. If you'd rather get in there with your Posca, pen to get those white areas. So can you see there, guys? You got to keep your pencil sharp when you do these little bits. Yeah, I didn't see what Ben said, but yeah, y'all be nice to Ben now. All right, so let me get the Posca just to show you. Now, the Posca pen, let me back up, can be really harsh white. So sometimes when you go on edges, you kind of have to feather it out. Like if you're doing hair or something that's you want it to be highlighted, but you don't want it sharp. Like let's say here. Let me go here. So because it's so bright, let me get this one going. It's so bright. Sometimes, like let's just say you're doing hair, it's gonna look not real if you don't feather out the edges. Okay. All right. So let me get in here and show you with the Posca how it's even brighter. Okay. And that will give it more oomph. But again, it's a little harsh on the edges for me. I like to kind of just touch it. But if you have a white, and this doesn't have to be a Posca, it could be your white gel pen. Okay, your white gel pen. You see how that makes it stand out though? And again, maybe you want him to stand out a little. What's a black pen? Let's see. Did Ben show y'all a painting? Yeah, I saw it on, I think it was on Facebook yet. Was it yesterday? Yeah, Ben just finished an awesome painting. Put the link in there if y'all hadn't already. I missed it if you did. Okay. The other thing is, like, let's say the tops of these screws, the tops of them are really tall or stand out. If you go in there with a white, just a touch of white on the end, it's going to make them look like they're standing out even more. So you see how that makes that pop up? Okay, so now we're going to go back over here and do these. Okay. All right, so now what I want to do, I'm just kind of working on these two wheeled cog things right now, is I might want some blue in there. Now I've already got some dark gray and some white. Now I'm going to go in here and I want to color now. I want to get some color in some areas. And again, you just got to kind of I don't even know if that's showing up because I use such a light touch, guys. I'm going over the dark gray and blending with the blue. I'm not bearing down. Don't need to push down really hard here. It's better just to keep going over and over and over till you get it the right, shade or shadow that you want. You start bearing down, you're not going to be able to add any more colors. It's going to be too built up. Can you see that? Now it might have a little bit of white. I'm going to use the Posket standing out. You might have a little bit of highlight right in the inside of that gear, inside of that gear, and on the inside of that gear. But I don't like the way that it ends. Like it's too harsh on the edge. I'd rather just have it kind of a little lighter feathering. I don't know if that makes any sense, but just to kind of have it set back just a little. Thanks, Ben. All right, let me go back in here with the blue. And again, you don't have to spend this much time on every single thing. But if you want it to look like this, then you will have to. All right, so let's do this one right here and maybe this right here. Okay, we'll do a little bit. We're going to do this, and then I think we're going to go ahead and move on. Either we're going to have to do another part, or we're going to have to, move on to another project. Because again, this is all it's going to be. It's gray, light gray, white, light gray, dark gray, blue, and if you want some black, but I don't think we're going to need black. I don't think. Okay, so we're going to have a little bit of highlight there. Maybe a little highlight right along the edge there. Go in here with the dark gray. But I wanted y'all to see how you can do these little mechanical things, even though it kind of does take a little bit of time. It does take some time, guys. But it looks cool. I'm going with blue so it's not all just flat gray. Might be a little, or you can even go in there with some, I think I will do that. Let's go in here with some sienna and give it some rust. Let's go around this right here. I think I want a little bit shadow right there. And so you can do the verdigris greeny rust, or you could do both, or the sienna rust. Let's see here. I don't want purple, I want sienna. The sienna and the purple always look so close. That's mahogany red, I don't want that either. Where's my sienna? Is this it? Terracotta, that's good. Okay, so I'm going to do some terracotta. Thanks, guys, for popping in. Anybody I missed? Hey, Little P. Anybody else? Heather. I said hi to Heather. All right, so we're going to get some terracotta or sienna. And let's go with a kind of a, I don't want a too blue. Maybe the peacock blue if I'm careful. Okay, I really want, maybe, no, it needs to be a little bit more green, but I don't really want olive. I'm trying to imagine the rust, kind of. Dark green is probably not going to show up. Let's see what other color. Not neat olive green. Let's just go with those for now. Whatever colors are rust. Okay, let me set you down a second while I sharpen. Coffee, Dede grilled cheese sandwiches. Yeah. All right, so let's tilt back in. So let's go with a little bit of the brown. All right, so I'm just going to put a little bit of rust, like around the bolts. Going to give you some rusty bolts. Like that. Oh, I don't even know if that's showing up, guys. As much as my camera is. All right, let's give it a little bit more rust. Is it showing up any? See the rust? Are we rusty? I don't have copper. It's not copper. It's either, this is terracotta, but you could also use sienna. Terracotta or sienna. Yeah, I don't, personally, I have the metallic pencils, but I don't use them. I don't use metallics very much. Okay, so I'm just going to rust out these bolts just a little bit more so they stand out. Is it showing up? Okay. You're rusty. Okay. All right, let's go over here and let's rust out this one. You know, the rust will be right like, oh, I'm rusting out our little guy. Oh, his name is Rusty. I rusted out Rusty. Okay, so, and it, you know, the rust is probably going to come out from behind edges, and it might leak out on like, you know, a larger area. But but that's probably where you're going to see the rust the most, is like right along edges, and you know. You can always look something up. Look up rusty bolts. All right, now I was thinking about doing some little bit of green in there too, you know. But it really needs to be, it's kind of like a cross between a green and a terracotta, a blue. So I'm going to put a little bit of green on there, and then also a little bit of peacock green, because it's a little, you don't want to get it too turquoisey. See, it's already getting too turquoise. Just call him Rusty. Yeah, I got a little too, you know, I want to keep it more on the green side than the turquoise color. But, you know, you can add a few shades of rust, whatever, you know. Oh my gosh, you girls crack me up. I say girls. Ben's here, but he's busy, so I can't say he's cracking me up. It's like a gingerbread man, yeah. Let's go ahead and do a little bit more work on Rusty. And again, guys, that white might be too stark for you. It may be too white, you know. So you can just take a light gray or your blue, and look. I'm just going to go over it, barely touching, just to take off the pop of the white. You know, just dull it down just a little. You know, just dull it down just a little bit if it's too bright. But that is one of the benefits of, white acrylic paint is if it is too bright, just go over it with your, just go back over it with a color. All right, now let me get my dark gray back in there and do a little bit more shadowing. And again, spend as much or as little time as you want. A little too much blue there. Go over with white, it kind of backs it off a little. We're a little rusty. Alright, let's go back in there with a little blue. So when I get this close up, I want to make sure we have a nice little gear there. Again, I got that white. It's a little vibrant. A little kind of pops a little too much, but yeah, I have to look into getting that one too, Terry. The Thompson's Fantasies. What's it? Is that in French or something like that? I forget now. I saw it earlier. The title is, I think, in French. Maybe German. I don't know. I just remember seeing it. All right, so I'm just blending out some of the shadow there. And again, if it's too bright, just go over it a little bit. Just to knock it back a little. I really need to sharpen my pencil, but yeah, Terry's popping in links left and right. Alright, so anyway, guys, got any questions or anything? It's all just this mechanical bits, and you just got to kind of keep going in there and getting areas, depending on if you want grays, but whatever. I mean, you don't even have to do it in like real metal. You can do these gears in, hot pink. You can do them in any colors you want. I just thought we would do it like this. Is it in German? Who has commercial free? I'm not sure what you mean, Diane. You can have ad blocker if you want. I don't do it because I just don't. But you can block ads. But I always especially on YouTube, because that's supporting the the YouTube community if you watch the ads. So I don't put ad blocker on. But it is there are a lot here. I gotta say, there's a lot on YouTube. I mean on Ustream. There's quite a few ads, and I know it gets annoying, especially when you're in the middle of a conversation or something. But all right, so can y'all see a little bit more? Might just wanna if you want a lot of these little white screw tops, go through your whole page if you want and start, adding all the white highlights. You could do that. I just like playing with them individually. I'm doing another color book page from Colin Thompson Fantastic tomorrow. Yeah, Heather has been streaming. You can put your link in there, Heather. Heather's been streaming. Is it Heather? What's your name on you stream? Unless I got you mixed up with someone else. No, I don't. I'm sure it's you, Heather. That's been streaming color book pages too. Hey, Patty. I'm pretty sure it's you. I stopped by your first day, if it's you. I think it was you. Tell me if I got you mixed up with somebody else. Needs another one there, and it needs another one there. Heather. Yeah, but okay, that's why I was confused because it's Bunny. That's right. Yeah, Bunny Designs. That's why I was gonna say. I know I watched you, but it had a different name. Yeah, Bunny Designs on UStream. Yeah, and she's been using printer ink. Am I right? Now I missed that show, the one where you're using how you use the ink. But I saw you doing a color book page one day. That's why I was confused. I knew you had a different name. All right, let's add a little bit more rust right in here. And now back to the blue. So again, because there's the acrylic wash on there, you've got a nice tooth for the pencil to grab onto. I make my way around to everybody eventually. Sometimes takes me a while to get there because I'm so busy, but I do make it around to everybody's YouTubes and Ustreams eventually. Now, sometimes I don't sign in because I can't chat at all, because I'm working on a commission or something and I just can't really be there, you know. So, but I try, guys. I try to see everybody. All right, I'm going to back this up just a minute so I can sharpen my pencil. It's not sharp enough to get around those tiny little screws right there. Okay. So I just want to go around each one. I know it's it's very subtle, but I know it's there. I'm probably not the best working right in the ditch on the color book page, but that's where we started. All right, this needs to be a little more crisp. Anyway, guys, thanks for this segment anyway, for hanging in there while we tried to do this this camera my new tripod guy, Trippy. Oh, if y'all missed it, I'll show you his picture again. Photos. So this is what we're working with today. This. He's like, although the camera's flipped around the other way, but you get the idea. And his legs are, I don't know, let's see how long his legs actually are. I'm going to get a ruler and measure his legs. So his legs are like 7 inches, and there's another couple of inches of mechanics at the top. So it's probably about 9 inches all total. Okay, so there you go, guys. Can you see where we've worked? Hopefully you can. And we haven't really got into there yet, but you can see some of the back out so you can see. There we go. It work good? Okay. I know some people can kind of get a little bit of motion sickness. Whoops, my lead's getting ready to drop out. Can get a little bit of motion sickness, but I try not to move it too much. And still have you get a nice close-up view. Now, again, it may matter more when we do faces or something. Yeah, I got it at Staples, Heather. I got it at Staples, only $15. Now, I will say, I looked. All right, hang on. Let me set this. Let me set them back up for a minute. See, I have this one. A couple of the little balls have fallen off of it, but you'll get the idea. This little one here, okay? This little one here, this is where I put my camera. And then on the stick that overhangs my table, I just wrap this around the stick, right? I just wrap this around the stick and the camera hangs facing down so that it's directly over my work. But even when I zoom far in, it doesn't get this clarity because it's too far away. Even if I drop the tripod that this is attached to way down, then the stick that it's on is like right in my face. So it just I wasn't able to get like right down on it like I am with Trippy here. So I looked, what I wanted to do was get a large, they sell big ones of these with the little ball feet about like this big, right? Kind of the same thing as Trippy, about the same size, maybe a little bit taller than Trippy. But I looked at Best Buy, they were $69 for a large one of these gorilla arms. Okay. Now, the only difference between Trippy and this one has little balls, right, that move. Trippy has, let me show you, he's got kind of like a jointed thing like this. It still does the same thing. See, it still does the same thing. It'll still bend and wrap. And the box even shows, let's see if I can show you the box here. The box shows, see how you can even wrap it around a tree. See how he's wrapped around a tree right there? Okay, so here's the difference. This one was $15, $14.99 at Staples. So Trippy was $14.99. The giant version of this is $69. Okay. Now, I'm not saying that there's not reasons and purposes to have one of these big ones too, but for what I wanted, just to zoom in on a color book page, I didn't want to spend $69, right? So, yeah. So that's that. So if anybody's looking to get, and again, I have my camera here. It's got a nice round. It's got a nice round, about like the size of a, I don't know, bigger than a $50, but about that big around that your camera attach. I keep turning this like you can see. Your camera screws into. Now I have my camera though. This right here would be upside down. So I flip it around, flip the camera around and face it down. So the camera's like really actually right there. But another thing about this that's nice, if I tried to use this to get close up, you see the legs because I've tried that before, and it's really short. This is really short. So what's beneficial about this one is the camera can face in between these two legs. See, I got a leg over here. And so the tripod legs don't get in the way. Does that make sense?
It does.
Yeah. Well, this is an excellent thing to use. I'll show you how I have it set up because I can move around because I'm on Trippy. But so this, let me see here. If I can do this, let me move this over here so I can show you. Okay, so I'm going to show you this and then we're going to go, guys. So take one last look at this. Right there. And again, we were working in the Imagimorphia by Kerby, Rosanes. Okay, so let me show you real quick how I usually work this. Heather or anybody else that wants to stream and see a a put together like thrown together kind of setup. All right, so let me come over here and show you now. All right, so let me tilt my camera up. All right, so I have this tripod here. It's actually a presentation stand. See, like here's where you'd set your paper right there. And I know there's all kinds of stuff behind it, but I'm trying to show you guys. My trash can right there and all my portfolios. All right, so this is just a tripod presentation stand, right? So you see up here, it's got all the metal, and it's got a metal bar right here. Well, the metal bar ends right there. It's not long enough. The metal bar is not long enough. So I attach my maul stick, which is my painting stick. I attach my painting stick and I just tied it on. I just tied and taped this extra stick right here, right? Okay, so this now hangs over my table. So here's my table, here's my stick, and I have my little gorilla thing here, right? And he will attach on here. Of course, he'll wrap around better, obviously. And then my camera is screwed on here facing down. Okay? So that's all it is just that facing down on my table. All right? I mean, this could have been a ruler up here or a yardstick. Didn't have to be this maul stick. It just happens that I had a long stick. It could be a yardstick. But whatever you want to attach your camera to. It's a C, what is it, 930E? I have it written down. Yeah, C930E. Let me set y'all back down so I'm not moving all over. Now, the thing about it is, let me tell you the difference between a couple of cameras since we're sitting here. I'll just leave this right here while we're talking. I use a C930E HD. There's also the C920, which is an HD. Now, Ustream, we have high resolution, but we don't have HD quality. So when you're watching a Ustream recording, unless you pay for it. Okay, let me clarify that. You can pay quite a bit to have HD on Ustream. All of us streamers don't do that. We don't make enough, we don't have enough subscriptions to, pay for, even with a couple thousand people. That's not enough to pay for having a paid subscription to get HD. That being said, both cameras are HD if you just used them, say, on YouTube. Okay, they'd be nice and clear. Like when I've done Google Hangouts, like with Ben or whatever, the quality is much better just with HD. I mean, with, you know, your camera being HD. Um, get the dead monkey cleaned up. My dead monkey? My dead monkey? You mean, I don't know what you mean. Okay, so anyway, there's a couple of differences between, and if you go on, just I'll tell you what to do. Just go on YouTube and do a search for comparing Logitech C920 with Logitech C930E. The difference has to do with the light lock and the quality of the wide screen. I use widescreen. So for the widescreen, the quality of my camera is better than the 920E, but it does not have light lock. Okay? So, and that is an issue. It's an issue with me. Okay? Not BB. Look on the floor. Oh, the monkey. Oh, okay. He fell off. Oh, okay. Yeah. He is usually hanging on right up here. He's usually hanging on right there. Yeah. So anyway, this is where I work. This is where y'all see me work right here. There's Lappy. Here's, you know, my paint. And, you know, anyway, this is where I work right here. So if you want to get a Logitech, you know, Jean has this thing, the C920, and she has a light lock. I found that the quality of the widescreen is better with this camera, but you have to fight the light lock. But just go look on the comparison of the two. But here's the thing, guys. If you are wanting to get a nice, extra expensive, nice camera, like you streamers here I'm talking to, I think so too. I think the quality is a little better with the C9 the one I got here, the 930. What did I say it was? C930E has a little bit better clarity than the 920, but the 920 has light lock. But the thing is, guys, if you're streaming, if you're on Ustream, you only get high resolution. You don't get HD with any of them, right? So, you know, keep that in mind. Don't spend extra hundreds of dollars on a camera if you're just going to basically use it for streaming. Now, if you're going to do YouTube videos too, you might want to, you know, do a little bit more research and invest a little bit. I have a nice camera for YouTube if I want to, but all my videos are here done on live show. They're all live shows with Ustream, right? So, yeah. But the Logitech 920 or what I have here is the Logitech or the C920 and the C930E. So just look up on YouTube for videos on them. They'll give you comparisons. You can compare them yourself. But I did look at some YouTube videos where there's this one guy in particular. I don't remember who it is. It's been some time ago that I did it, guys. I looked it up. But he does a comparison of those two Logitech cameras. And you can tell the widescreen quality is much better on this one than the 920. But the 920 has the light lock. This one does not, okay? Which I have no clue why they didn't put light lock. They both have zoom and focus. I think this one has a few more clicks of zoom than the 920. Oh, sorry guys. Let me just test it real quick here. Let me see how many clicks of zoom I have. All right, so this one, the C930E has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 clicks. It has 10 clicks of zoom on this one. Whereas I think the 920 has less. So, and they're only like, yeah, 100. I think mine, I got it, you know, a couple years ago, and I think it was 129. I think the 920s are 79. You know. So they're not. It's not like you're not getting an expensive SLR or whatever. Which that if you do other things you would need. But for what I do here, I don't need it, right? So, all right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and stop the video and save it. And I'm not leaving you guys, but I'm going to stop the recording and we'll start another episode for something else. I don't know if we'll do another close up here or if I'll just turn my camera around and hang it up on the stick, and we'll do. But this works well with the even though I can zoom in, there's something about just doing this to get right up on it where you can see it. Even if I zoomed, I can't get that clarity, anyway. Okay. So I'll be right back, guys. Like I said, I'm not going glare. I'm not going to leave you guys, but I'm going to save this recording. So thanks everybody for being here for this segment, and I'll be right back.